All right. I'm late to the party. Late to the party. I don't usually touch on subjects like this, but apparently there's this big old ordeal going around about this Giacomo guy. All right. I don't touch on stuff like this. I'm going to today because everyone else is. And if I didn't, my opinion is just my opinion. It's not everyone's opinion, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Everyone's going to view it how they view it. I think the only reason I felt like touching on it is I keep hearing this comparison to Led Zeppelin stole stuff from other people. And I do believe in the courts they weren't found liable for that. I would have to go back and research again. It's been a while since those stories. But I think there's a huge difference in stealing someone's stuff versus having 7 chords, majors, minors to use, and coming up with something that sounds similar to this over here. Yes, blatantly stealing someone's material is no bueno. It's not good. You shouldn't, using a hammer-on and then suddenly being accused of being an Eddie Van Halen clone because you finger tapped or you hammered on or it's if you did it in your own fashion, in your own style, in your own song, that's one thing. If you literally did Eruption or you did something totally similar, yeah, you're ripping the guy off, right? So at the end of the day, I think what my point to all this is the dude, from what I can see, the video footage everyone's putting out there, he literally stole everybody's chops, right? As far as Zeppelin goes, if they stole from I don't remember how the story goes anymore, but I do know that they were accused of, by another band, it was their song, Zeppelin took it and made it, was it Stairway to Heaven or one of the, whatever. I know that there's other bands that have done that have said, hey, they took our music, that's ours, listen to it. And I've listened to some of the complaints over the years of other bands, and sometimes you hear it and you go, well, is it unfortunate that sometimes people go home and after hearing a band play or listening to a song and they write something and they fall kind of in that realm? That's one thing. It's still, you should try and add your twist to it. Don't follow the same chord structure over and over. Try to add something in, whatever, find a different voicing, a different pattern, try and do it differently. I get it that maybe you heard something and you liked it, and for some unknown reason you go home and write a song and it sounds similar to what you heard. Yeah, you should probably twist and tweak to put your own spin on it and not try and sound like that's the identical to whatever you heard. But taking someone's like this, slowing it down, playing their stuff note for note, and speeding it back up so it matches theirs, or literally just, we don't know, taking their recording and then using it, benefiting from someone else's work. It's not good. It's not good. You shouldn't do it. No one should do it. As far as Rick Beato, when I listened to his the other day, I think he approached it fairly decent. I think he approached it, I guess, gracefully in a way, I think everyone else, including myself, who's now going to put a video out regarding it, I'm just touching on it because I kept hearing the Led Zeppelin reference. My point is, no one should steal from someone else. It's not good. Shouldn't do that at all, period. End of discussion, right? Are we gonna do chops that sound like someone else's at times? At times, it's inevitable. You know, we're my era. I grew up listening to Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, George Lynch, and guys like that. And unfortunately, when I play, no, I can't play like those guys. I'm not that good. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that because I listen to these guys and I grew up listening to them. Are there certain things I do in my style of playing that's theirs, I guess, because I learned it from listening to them and watching them. Yeah, but I can't duplicate it for starters. It's Eddie Van Halen and Randy Rhoads and George Lynch, for Christ's sakes. But do I steal licks that I liked or learned them, should I say? I can't say I stole them. You liked them, you implement them into your playing. Let's face facts. You know, go back and listen to George Lynch and Warren DeMartini and guys like that back in the 80s, and you kind of hear a little bit of each other and everyone's stuff. You know, you go listen to Vito Bratta and Eddie Van Halen, you know, they're all in the same time frame. You can't tell me they didn't kind of get influenced by each other. It happens, right? It's what it is. But to blatantly take someone's stuff, like had Randy blatantly taken Eddie's licks, or Eddie blatantly took Randy's, or George blatantly took either one of theirs, people would go. But we understand that if George did a finger tapping or a hammer on or something like that, yeah, you could go, oh, Eddie or Randy. No, it was George. It just so happens that that's the style of music he grew up playing and listening to and liking and being influenced by those guys, right? Same happens to all of us that listen to those guys' albums, right? Look how many Ingves clones came out as soon as Ingves hit the scene, right? Next thing you know, everybody was sweet picking 12 Ways to Sunday. But had they just literally taken note for note Eddie's licks, Randy's licks, George's, anybody's, right? Kristen Pelletteri's. It doesn't matter. Take anyone's name of the guitar icons, right? Yeah, if you even want to go down the road of, you know, listening to David Gilmour or Jeff Beck, it doesn't matter. Pick a name. Pick one of the guys, the guys we all admire. If you blatantly play their stuff note for note, it's not good. But as far as this guy did, from what I've seen and the videos I've watched Rick Beato's, I've watched Danny Sapko and Alex Hutchins or whatever. I've watched everybody's. I've kind of just gone and looked to see what's out there. And most of them are doing, there are a couple that have gone, what a douche. He kind of deserves it if you're going to do something like that. You're going to get, and other people have approached it very politically correct, should we say, I guess. Look, my channel is not based on doing this stuff. It's just, I've seen so many of it. And I know some of you are going to go, well, so you felt like jumping on board and making it. Look, don't watch the video if you don't want to. I understand. I totally understand. No, I just felt like talking about, more interesting to me is that Zeppelin's name keeps getting thrown in the mix. I'm surprised. Didn't Joe Satriani, I forget what band was it? Oh my goodness, what band is that? They were kind of big for a minute. Didn't the singer marry an actress? Coldplay? Was it Cold? Whatever. One of those bands. Didn't they, not Coldplay, Cold, it doesn't matter. One of those bands, didn't he think that something they wrote was, close to what he wrote? It happens. Years ago, not that this is something to think about, and that was years ago, Molly Hatchet was told to write a song that sounded like Freebird, which was Follow the Peacemaker. They didn't write it like Freebird, but they were told you should do something similar. In that aspect, they did. They did copy the chord structures and they didn't make it sound like Freebird, but they were told by the record company, do something in that line of, and so they took the very respectful road of doing their own version of what the record industry wanted, which was a Molly Hatchet's version of Leonard Skinner's Freebird. So point being is you can go and do your thing and not sound like what's going on over here. And I guess, you know, if you're going to steal people's licks note for note, you're going to get called for it. I don't care who you are. As far as you should play live as much as you can on here, absolutely. Go watch my videos. You don't have to. I'm just saying, go watch them. I leave the mistakes in. I don't care. I use my iPhone. I'm using my iPhone right now. Why? Because it's plain simple. I go, look, I'm human. I'm not Eddie, Randy, George, Jeff Beck, Stevie Ray Vaughan. It doesn't matter, pick a name. I'm none of them. I make mistakes. So did they. I know you're going, Damon, what are you saying? They made mistakes. They made mistakes. Watch them live. You'll hear them. I've seen some great bands live and I've heard the mistakes. You know what I think of? Nothing. I go, they're human. It happens. But I do it for the sake of, I'm kind of hoping that a younger generation sees me play and goes, he screws up. Yeah, we all do. And you should know that it's okay. But slowing someone's stuff down, stealing it note for note, speeding it back up to so it sounds amazing, and then getting called out, getting caught for it. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. Anyway, go watch all these guys that I mentioned. Go watch Rick Beato's, you know. Should we call him Papa Rick? He's the guy that, you know, we all kind of go and scramble to when it's stuff like this. You know, I don't know much about Danny or Alex or any of these other guys that I mentioned. I don't. But go watch any of their. I support any of these people on here. Go watch them. Unless you're stealing stuff, then it's probably. Anyway, man, I just wanted to jump on here real quick. Throw something out there. Hopefully it's short, sweet, to the point. Anywho, have a great day. Go check out all the people. As usual, I will go check out Rick Beato, Alex Hutchings, and I'm looking at the screen. Danny, go if you want to learn how to play a guitar instead of miming or faking, or Uncle Ben Eller, he's out there. Go check him out. Music is Win. Go check him out. Robert Baker's out there. Andy Wood. Go check him out. Go look for those guys. Papa Stosh. All those guys. Go check them out. Marty. Who forgets, you know, Uncle Marty, right? Go check him out. Anyway, peace. It's my 2 cents. It ain't worth a rat's ass. But I thought I'd throw it in here. Have a good one.